social media plays a huge part in your job now, like a huge role. And like you guys need to be like on the ball 24/7. It's an interesting blurred line as well between what is like character, what is actually, because like some people do like their social media as like their true self, like, and then some people do their like social media completely in gimmick. And I love that. Like, I actually really prefer it when somebody does like a gimmick social media because I'm like, cool, you know where you stand with this person and it makes sense. But like, for that kind of stuff online, like, obviously now that you have risen really high in the ranks of Brit Pro Wrestling and like further afield, man, you've been everywhere, you've been like Israel and stuff. And it's true, like you really have, and you've done it in a really short space of time. And considering the fact you've done a lot of it during a freaking pandemic, I think it's incredible. And like, kudos to you. Like, you've worked really hard, and I'm really proud of you. But like,
Oh my
the
God.
no, it's true though. And the thing is though, like stuff like this, you'll obviously have noticed your social media, like the mentions, the comments, when they are negative, and especially as a heel, like, how does that make you feel? Like, honestly, do you sit sometimes and just think, Jesus Christ, man, like Terry from blooming Gloucestershire, like, was throwing darts in my face. Like, do you know what I mean? Are you freaking out about that? Or are
I
you just
think
like, I'm doing my job right? Like, how do you feel about that?
no, I genuinely like. I could. There's a lot of people that it does affect, and I know a lot of people where it does. As soon as one bad thing comes up, it affects them dramatically. The weird thing is I think a long time ago, I sort of, even before wrestling, I sort of came to terms with the fact that not everybody's going to like me, and that's just in life, and that's okay. And not everybody has to like me, and that's okay. I just need to focus on the opinions of the people that matter in my life. And if they're okay with me, then I'm fine. Like, other people, it's not that I don't care about people's opinions and their thoughts and things like that, but at this end of the day, you're you're just a Twitter profile. I'm not going to see you. I'm not buying you Christmas presents. I'm not asking you how your day is. Like, and again, I completely appreciate anybody that's a fan of mine and reaches out and things like that. But if someone's just going to have a go at me just to see if they can get a rise out of me, I'm not going to give you it. And it's that simple. Like, I remember when I did ROH and somebody had stripped the feed and put it on YouTube. And I remember one of the top comments was, ha ha ha, I've seen everything now, a fat Spartan. And I remember at that point running downstairs to Wolfie, laughing and going, I've got my first stroll! Yes! I've made it! Like, I think like I take it in that sort of thing of like, if I'm getting that sort of thing, then it means that I'm actually getting some kind of traction. It's like the idea. So something that's really been nipping my biscuit in wrestling and for everything is, yes, there has been a lot of people being released lately, right? And it is sad and it is not good. And a lot of very talented people have been released lately. But the one thing is that is not the fault of another performer. There is a lot of people that do the, oh my God, how can they release so and so when so and so is still hired? That is not that person's fault that they're still hired and the other person isn't. It is, if you want to have a go at the promotion or the whatever that's released them, fair dues. But can we just stop attacking people who has nothing to do with it at all? And yes, let's be honest, a lot of the time the word is Eva Marie. It is not Eva Marie's fault that she has still been hired. And in all fact, sometimes it might be your fault that she's still hired, because even though you hate watching her, you all still watch her, you all still tune in. Her numbers for views are a lot higher than the people that you claim to love. That's why she still has the job.
It's that car crash mentality again, right? Like, everybody's tuning in even though they think it's something terrible. And like, you know that I'm an Eva Marie supporter. Like, I think she's not very good at wrestling and I don't think she's very good at talking, but there's just something about her that I'm like, I kind of love seeing her on my TV. And
so that's the major thing. She gets views. People tune in to watch her. Why on earth would a television show not hire that person?
Mm-hmm.
If hiring this one person gets people to switch the telly on just to sit there and go, oh, I hate her, Who cares? That TV show doesn't care if you hate, love, or indifferent. If you're sitting watching them, they're going to keep them on your screen. That's the thing. And it's not her fault that all these people have been released. It is the fault of the management or whatever it is between that. It's not her fault. And it's honestly, and I'm not here saying like, oh, I'm the biggest Eva Marie fan in the world. No, like, I'm not sitting here waving the evolution flag. But at the same time,
I'm like, I'm like that. Get her off, Sondra. Get her off. She's not welcome.
Exactly where it's so, it's genuinely becoming a stale argument for me of like, why is so and so being released when so and so? Well, I don't know, but it's not that person's fault. And I find it quite mean that you're like, well, if they're being released, sack her too. Like, what?
Yeah, like, why are you calling for more people to lose their jobs?
Exactly.
And it's obviously like, because there are some people that have been released that were shocking to me. Like, I was amazed that they released, like, Bronson Reed, for instance, who I think has been killing it on NXT and who's been incredibly charismatic and who's been great. They apparently don't see him as a fit for their company anymore, which sucks. Like, it sucks for him. It sucks for me because I want to see him. Like, it sucks for a lot of people, but I can't say that, like, oh, why is such and such a person still on TV when Bronson Reed isn't? Like, that doesn't seem fair because obviously that person has some sort of value, be it behind the scenes or on screen or promotionally or whatever. Like, that's why they're still there. Like, I don't know. I'm always bad at the business side of things. Like, business is not my forte in terms of like numbers crunching and like knowing who to keep and who to fire and all that kind of stuff. I'm glad that that's not my job because that's like, I just watch wrestling. I watch it as a fan. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not the one who's trying to run the company and book it. So like, there are decisions I disagree with, but I don't know.
Yeah. Like, I 100% get why people would be upset to see a performer that they really enjoy to watch go, because they're the reason that person tunes in. But blaming someone else because of the misfortune of another person, just, it's mean. And it's like,
it goes against the cardinal rule of don't be a dick. It really does.
Stop being a dick. And I'll be honest, I think Inside the Ropes fans are a better class of fans, so I'd hope that none of yous are doing it. Okay? You hear me?